Hi, this is Hai Nguyen with Elite MMA,
Hi, I'm Jose Aguilar.
and we're at the Elite MMA Gallery at Greenway location. And what we want to do is make a little video for everyone to know the differences, some general differences between mixed martial arts, aka MMA, versus Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, aka BJJ. So a couple of things we want to address is Jiu-Jitsu is a component of mixed martial arts. So there are different components of mixed martial arts. So we're going to kind of give you a little rundown. We'll kind of tailor it more towards Jiu-Jitsu in this video. That way everybody can kind of see what Jiu-Jitsu is about as far as the ground techniques. And then we'll address a little bit of the stand-up and other aspects of MMA. So we're going to give you guys a little demonstration. So one of the things you're going to see is Jose and me, if we're squared up, obviously the fights in the UFC, which is the sport of MMA, has a how should you say, a promotional organization called the UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championships. So at the UFC, they promote mixed martial arts. So they're probably one of the biggest promotions in mixed martial arts. So as you see in most of the fights, all the fights start standing. So that the standing aspect of it, it can be many different disciplines. It can be karate, kickboxing, American kickboxing, Thai, Muay Thai kickboxing, to your classic boxing. Okay, so if Jose and me are squared off in a classic right-hander versus right-hander stance, Jose has a bunch of different weapons he can throw. So this is called the standing part of the MMA, which is your kickboxing, right? So Jose has different combinations. So go ahead, Jose. You can yell out what you're doing.
Jab, kick, jab, cross, hook, body shot, right uppercut, cross, hook, uppercut, leg kicks,
Okay.
elbows and knees.
Yeah, elbows, knees. So he's implementing his entire body. If you notice, the space is a little bit longer. In other words, we're in an open space. In other words, he's got to take his hands or his legs and make contact with me from an open space to collapse on top of me, okay, onto me, okay, with strikes. So that's one aspect of MMA, which is your striking aspect, which is the stand-up. Now, as we start getting closer and Jose starts throwing, boom, he may come in and boom, he gets into whatever lock there is. He gets closer, which we would call aka a wrestling range, where he's inside, he's controlling the inside line here. He can do a couple of different, it's a couple of different styles that can happen from here. You have your judo, you have your wrestling, collegiate, world wrestling and stuff like that. Things that you'll see here and here where they get inside of you. So Jose goes into a classic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Thai, where he's controlling the underhook and he controls the inside line to stop the punches, right? Here and here. So a couple of things he can do. He can do just a basic, we're doing just like a really basic leg trip where he trips me down here, so because he's trying to get me down to the ground, right? And then he's gonna start attacking me from here. So boom. Boom. Now from here, he gets on top, boom. Gets into the end, but now he's changed the range. From that striking range to he gets close to a close wrestling range. Now he's on top of me into a jiu-jitsu range, which is whoa, from here and here. Now he's on top of me. Now the space has collapsed. Now he's a lot closer to me, and now he's going to be able to feel a lot of my energy instead of a long point-to-point space. So from here, when Jose's here, this is called the mount position. So now when we're on the ground, this is called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is the ground aspect. So a lot of people will implement Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they'll implement Sambo from the ground, they'll implement a lot of different ground techniques from here. Majority of what you see in the UFC, or what's very popular now these days, is you'll see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Within Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, with that range, there are sub-ranges within that range. So a couple of things we're gonna do. This is probably one of the worst positions for me to be in. As you can see, Jose can hit me. It's very difficult for me to hit him, okay? So one of the aspects here, if I have a good foundational knowledge of Jiu-Jitsu, I need to get out of this position. So one of the things I need to do is make sure my hands are inside tight, controlling the head. I bridge, Jose post, I grip, I hook his leg and I bridge and roll him over. And from this position, Jose may have his legs locked, and this is called the guard position. Okay, this is a closed guard. So my objective is, if I'm here, it's a 50-50 game here, right? If I'm here too long, Jose can start submitting me, right? So he can do a head and arm choke from here. So he pulls this over, grabs here, closes down, and I tap, right? So with Jiu-Jitsu, the end game in kickboxing, a lot of times the end game is a knockout. The guy gets knocked out, lights out, or a TKO where he can't continue verbally or he's just unconscious. In Jiu-Jitsu, the end goal is to submit the person, either in a, as you saw, a choke. He can go into an arm bar here, Kimura here, where he's got a hold of my shoulder. So the objective here is for him to submit me, right, with his legs and his arms. You can also, another term that's utilized if I'm on top is called a ground and pound, where I am here and I'm on top on a pure MMA version of Jiu-Jitsu. I might be striking him, or self-defense, I might be here and here hitting him, right? And then they call it ground and pound, because what's happening is he's on the ground and I'm pounding him here and here, right, without him being able to protect himself, right? So, but from a pure, so there are 4 aspects of principles of Jiu-Jitsu. You have self-defense, you have MMA versions, you have a self-defense, and you have a sport version, okay? All those you need to be training. That way you'll understand the principles and concepts of Jiu-Jitsu, because each one of those has different timing sensitivities to how you train, okay guys? So with a classic Jiu-Jitsu school class, you'll have a kimono or uniform, and then you'll have, like when I'm wearing a rash guard, shorts for a no-gi or MMA version, or self-defense, whatever you would be wearing out on the street, okay? So this is one position we did one position before, which was our mount escape. Jose being a mount, I flipped him over. Now I'm in Jose's guard. And he's playing guard, I'm in Jose's guard, is the terminology you want to know. So I might stand up from here, because I need to pass the guard. Passing is when I pass his legs, and I'm on what we call side control or crossbody, okay? So one of the things I might do is I might pass. So one thing is I stand, boom, and I get up, boom, control the leg, get down, and I pass his guard. From this position here, now I have control over Jose versus Jose having his legs bare hugged around my waist, right? So from here now I can start attacking here. Submissions, I can do a choke here, boom. I can do joint manipulations here with his arms. So there's a lot of angles and different things I can do for this position. Now next part from here is called knee on the belly. So from here, I come here and I jump up, and it's not so much your knee but your shin is here. You have your leg out just to create good structure and the balance here. And what you can do here is you can start controlling the person from here and start being a little bit more aggressive on your attacks. Then you have what you saw last time was Jose earlier, have the mount, and then if Jose turns around, boom, I control his hips, and I have his back here. And what's really common is the rear naked choke, where you go across here, control the head and the carotid arteries, and you squeeze, right? So from there, so how we would train a lot of times here in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, guys, is we want you guys to learn the foundations of there's certain positions that you need to learn, and then from those positions there are a lot of different things you can do from there. So learning the different positions as far as Jiu-Jitsu goes, from what you saw, the mount, escaping the mount, you had guard work, escaping the guard, to taking someone's back, submitting them. That's just some of the positions. And then you have the reverse of that, which is you are mounted, how do you get out? You are playing guard, how do you submit somebody? Someone does have your back, how do you get out from that position? So there's a lot of different things that you can do from from there and stuff. And that's one of the things we like to teach here at Elite MMA and stuff like that. It's just to educate people on aspects of MMA, and then also Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing. So every kind of martial art you can think of and stuff. We try to implement what's useful and then reject what's useless. And it's really individually based, depends on the individual. So with that, that's just a little snippet of what we wanted to let you guys know about the difference between MMA versus Jiu-Jitsu. And so if you guys want to check us out, check out elite-mma.com. And we're in the, this location is the Elite MMA Houston Gallery Greenway location. All right, guys, have a good time. Take care and see you guys later.